Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. Cabinet approves minimum support prices for copra, assures doubling of farmers' incomes by 2022. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch more development projects in Varanasi tomorrow. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla says new Parliament building to be ready by November next year. Delhi Disaster Management Authority issues order banning all cultural events and gatherings during Christmas and New Year celebrations in view of rising cases of Omicron. West Bengal government also issues guidelines for international travellers. Over 139 crore vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate stands at 98.4%. In Jammu and Kashmir, one assistant sub-inspector of police martyred and one civilian killed in terror attacks. In Asian Champions Trophy hockey tournament, India win bronze medal beating Pakistan 4-3 in Dhaka today, and in football, Bangladesh lifts under-19 South Championship trophy beating India by a solitary goal. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause for concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. The Union Cabinet has given its approval for the minimum support prices for copra for 2022 season. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said the MSP for fair average quality of milling copra has been increased to 10,590 rupees per quintal for 2022 season from 10,335 rupees per quintal. He said MSP for bal copra has been increased to 11,000 per quintal for 2022 season from 10,600. This is to ensure a return of 51.85% for milling copra and 57.73% for bal copra.
मंत्रिमंडल ने आज कोपरा यानी नारियल की गरी के लिए वर्ष 2022 के लिए एमएसपी निर्धारित किया है। किसानों के आर्थिक हितों को ध्यान में रखते हुए केंद्र सरकार विभिन्न विषयों, विभिन्न कृषि उत्पादों के एमएसपी निर्धारित करती है। वर्ष 2022 में नारियल का तेल निकालने के लिए उपयोग में लाई जाने वाली फेयर एवरेज क्वालिटी की मिलिंग कोपरा के लिए 10,590 रुपए प्रति क्विंटल तथा पूजा इत्यादि में उपयोग किए जाने वाली बाल कोपरा के लिए 11,000 रुपए प्रति क्विंटल का एमएसपी निर्धारित किया गया है।
The decision is based on recommendations of the Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. It assures a minimum of 50% as margin of profit is one of the important and progressive steps towards making possible doubling of farmers' incomes by 2022. The National Agricultural Cooperative Marketing Federation of India Limited and National Cooperative Consumer Federation of India Limited will continue to act as central nodal agencies to undertake price support operations at the MSP in the coconut growing states. The Union Cabinet has approved the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India ICAI and the Polish Chamber of Statutory Auditors PIBR. The objective of the MOU is to establish mutual cooperation in areas of member management, professional ethics, technical research, professional accountancy training, audit quality monitoring, advancement of accounting knowledge, professional and intellectual development. The MOU between ICAI and PIBR Poland is expected to strengthen its footprints in Europe by providing prospects for the ICAI members to get professional opportunities in Poland in the short to long-term future. The aim of the MOU is to work together to develop a mutually beneficial relationship for the members of ICAI and PIBR. With this MOU, ICAI would be able to strengthen the partnership with Poland by providing the export of services in the accountancy profession. The Union Cabinet also approved the signing of an MOU between the Competition Commission of India and the Competition Commission of Mauritius. The MOU aims to promote and strengthen cooperation in matters of competition law and policy through exchange of information, sharing of best practices and capacity building initiatives. It is also intended to promote mutual cooperation in the areas of technical cooperation, experience sharing and enforcement cooperation.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Varanasi and kickstart multiple development initiatives tomorrow. During his visit, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of Banas Dairy Sankur at Uttar Pradesh State Industrial Development Authority Food Park at Karkhiao in Varanasi. Spread across 30 acres of land, the dairy will be built at a cost of about 475 crore rupees and will have a facility for processing 5 lakh litres of milk per day. This will strengthen the rural economy and help farmers of the region by creating new opportunities for them. He will also lay the foundation stone for the biogas-based electricity generation plant for the Milk Producers Cooperative Union Plant at Ramnagar in Varanasi. It will be a key step towards making Milk Producers Cooperative Union Plant energy self-sufficient. More from our correspondent.
The Prime Minister will also launch a portal and a logo dedicated to the conformity assessment scheme of milk products developed by the Bureau of Indian Standards with the help of National Dairy Development Board. To reduce the land ownership issues at grassroots level, the Prime Minister will virtually distribute the Rural Residential Rights Record Gharoni under the Swamitwa scheme to over 20 lakh residents of the state. Inauguration and foundation laying of 22 development projects worth over 870 crore rupees will also be done on the occasion. The Prime Minister will inaugurate multiple urban development projects in Varanasi and projects in the education sector. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Varanasi.
Both houses of Parliament adjourned sine die today, a day ahead of its schedule. The winter session of Parliament had commenced on the 29th of last month. In Lok Sabha, when the House met this morning, Speaker Om Birla made a valedictory remark, saying the House registered 82% productivity during the session and passed 9 bills. He said that due to disruptions, around 19 hours of the House were wasted during the session.
ये अत्यंत हर्ष का विषय कि 2 दिसंबर 2021 को सभा का कार्य निष्पादन 204% रहा। सत्र के दौरान सभा का कुल कार्य निष्पादन 82% रहा। वर्तमान सत्र में कार्य के लिए आवंटित कुल समय में से व्यवधान के कारण 18 घंटे 48 मिनट का समय व्यर्थ हुआ।
In his valedictory remarks in Rajya Sabha, Chairman Venkaiah Naidu expressed unhappiness over the functioning of the House during session and urged members to collectively reflect and individually introspect the way the session has gone by. He said the House functioned much below its potential.
I am not happy to share with you the House functioned much below its potential. I urge all of you to collectively and individually reflect and introspect if this session could have been different and better. I don't want to speak elaborately on the course of this session as it would lead to me to make a very critical view. And also realization of what has happened is wrong and we should all work towards constructive, positive atmosphere for the larger interest of the country.
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has said the new Parliament building will be ready by November next year. Addressing media today, Mr. Birla said he is continuously reviewing the progress of construction of the work of the new building with concerned agencies. He assured that the new Parliament building would have all the requisite facilities in place. Speaking on the working of the winter session of Lok Sabha, which was adjourned sine die today, the Speaker said over 94% of the members are using digital platforms to file their questions. He hoped that by the next session it would be 100%. He also said newly launched mobile application LS Member app allows the members to have detailed business scheduled and the public to track the performance of their elected representatives in the Parliament session. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that the COVID variant Omicron is 3 times more transmissible than the Delta variant. The centre has advised the states and union territories to activate the war rooms and keep taking proactive action at the district or local level. In a letter written by Health and Family Welfare Secretary Rajesh Bhushan to states and union territories yesterday, he said the COVID variant Delta is still present in different parts of the country. He also said greater foresight, Data analysis, dynamic decision-making and strict and prompt containment action is required at the local and district level. States have been advised that there should be constant review of emerging data regarding the population affected by COVID-19 and its geographical spread. Talking to AIR in an exclusive interview, Director of AIMS Randeep Guleria said,
So Omicron is a new variant and we know that the virus will continue to mutate and new variants will emerge. This is causing, as per the data that we have, because most of the cases currently are from the Western world, from UK, Denmark, South Africa. There it is causing a mild illness, hospitalizations are not much. We need to have more data as it evolves in terms of the hospitalization and severity of illness. Currently it is causing a mild illness. So again, I think the protection is twofold. One is for all of those who need to get vaccinated, who are due for vaccination, should come forward and get themselves vaccinated, whether it's the first dose or the second dose. Vaccination is very important to prevent a person from severe illness and from hospitalization and death. And the second is that we have to be again aggressive in COVID-appropriate behavior.
The Delhi Disaster Management Authority, Ddma, has issued an order banning all cultural events and gatherings for Christmas and New Year celebrations in the national capital in view of rising cases of new COVID variant, Omicron. In his order, Ddma has asked all the district magistrates and deputy commissioners of police to ensure that no cultural event and congregations take place during Christmas and New Year. It has instructed all DMs to take all requisite actions and measures to control the spread of COVID-19 cases, including Omicron variant. To check spreading of the Omicron variant, the government of West Bengal has issued a guideline for the international travellers. Any traveller testing positive on arrival at the airport will be put in separate isolation in the health facilities identified for the purpose. None will be allowed to stay at home. If anyone with a history of travelling within the last 14 days to a country of high risk for Omicron is tested positive on a later date, he or she will be put in separate isolation.
Over 139 crore vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. India's active caseload currently stands at 78,190. Active cases account for less than 1% of total cases. The recovery rate is currently at 98.4%. 6,906 recoveries in the last 24 hours have increased the total recoveries to over 3 crore 42 lakh.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Israel is set to begin administering a fourth dose of the COVID-19 vaccine to medical personnel and people who are 60 or older, the Prime Minister's office announced last night. The announcement came after Israel's pandemic treatment staff, a panel of medical experts, voted to recommend the fourth jab on the same day, according to the Times of Israel.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Do you want to fly high, to reach out to the skies? Do you feel proud to wear the uniform? Then join the Indian Air Force.
Applications open from 1st December 2021. To apply online, log in to careerindianairforce.cdac.in.
कोविड टीके के दोनों खुराक पाने वालों की संख्या में उत्तर प्रदेश सबसे अव्वल। यहाँ 4 करोड़ 13 लाख से अधिक लोगों को टीके की दोनों डोज देकर कोविड का सुरक्षा कवर प्रदान किया गया है।
उत्तर प्रदेश में कोविड से बचाव के लिए ट्रेसिंग, टेस्टिंग, ट्रीटमेंट और टीकाकरण की नीति से ये महामारी पूरी तरह नियंत्रित है।
चिकित्सा सुविधाओं में भी उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार ने नए आयाम दिए हैं। प्रदेश में कुल 97 मेडिकल कॉलेज हो गए हैं। नए मेडिकल कॉलेजेस होने से अब प्रदेश में मेडिकल की 40,000 सीट, MBBS की 35,088 और PG की 804 सीट्स बढ़ी हैं और इससे 65,000 से अधिक रोजगार के अवसर प्रदान होंगे।
सोच ईमानदार, काम दमदार, उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार द्वारा जनहित में प्रसारित।
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase Hallmark gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today chaired the pre-budget consultation meetings for Union Budget 2022-23. More than 120 invitees representing 7 stakeholder groups participated in 8 meetings scheduled during this period. The stakeholder groups include representatives and experts from agriculture and agro-processing industry, infrastructure and climate change, financial sector and capital markets, services and trade, social sector, trade union and labour organisation. She also held consultations with prominent economists. The stakeholder groups made several suggestions on various issues that included increased research and development spending, infrastructure status for digital services and incentives to hydrogen storage. Suggestions were also received for fuel cell development, rationalization of income tax slabs and investments in online safety measures. We spoke to economist Naveen Gupta on expectations from the budget.
After dipping to multi-year low, GDP growth rate has bounced back. Indian economy grew by 8.4% in July-September quarter. This is made possible due to much of reformist measures for industry which are regularly announced during the year by Modi government, like Production Link Incentive Scheme and recently approved 10 billion Design Link Incentive Plan to make Indian global electronic manufacturing hub. In current scenario, expecting major tax cut is unrealistic considering governments are struggling to bring economy back on track in COVID times under particularly Omicron threat. Rationally speaking, from citizens' perspective, outbreak of COVID has made everyone realize the importance of health insurance coverage. And high interest rate of 18% pushes up premium and reduces health coverage. So I believe GST rate on health insurance may be reduced from 18% to 5%.
Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said more than 25,000 compliances have been reduced by the centre to promote ease of living and ease of doing business in the country. He was addressing the valedictory session of the National Workshop on the next phase of reforms to reduce compliance burden in New Delhi today. He urged political leadership, bureaucracy and industry partners to focus their initiatives to reduce compliance burden for smooth delivery of services. Stressing on possibilities of technology, Mr. Goyal said technology must aid initiatives to promote ease of living and ease of doing business and should not further complicate the system of compliances.
And now let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On the 22nd of December 1901, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore established the school of Brahmacharya Ashram for children of Shantiniketan, West Bengal. It is around this school that the structure of the unconventional and globally renowned Vishwa Bharati University has developed through love for education, dedication and careful planning. Rabindranath Tagore called the institution Vishwa Bharati, which means the communion of the world with India. In a conscious repudiation of the system introduced in India by the British rulers, Rabindranath initially sought to realize the intrinsic values of the ancient education in India. The school and its curriculum therefore signified a departure from the way the rest of the country viewed education and teaching.
Simplicity was the cardinal principle. Classes were held in open air in the shade of trees where human and nature entered into an immediate harmonious relationship. Teachers and students shared the single integral socio-cultural life. The curriculum had music, painting, dramatic performances and other performative practices. Beyond the accepted limits of intellectual and academic pursuits, opportunities were created for invigorating and sustaining the manifold faculties of the human personality.
After independence, the institution was given the status of a central university in 1951 by an act of the Parliament. It continues to empower the citizens of India and the world.
We also remember the revolutionary from across the seas, Tarak Nath Das, who died on 22nd of December 1958. A pioneering immigrant in the west coast of North America, he helped organize the Asian Indian immigrants in favor of the Indian independence movement.
Tarak Nath was born on the 15th of June 1884 in Kanchrapara, Chobis Paraganas, West Bengal. While attending college in Calcutta, he was recruited into an anti-British secret society. By 1905, he gave up his studies and started spreading the revolutionary message. Wanted by police, he fled to Japan in 1905, disguised as a sadhu. And after the British ambassador requested his extradition, Das fled to the US and enrolled in the University of California, Berkeley, where he organized Indian immigrants towards Indian independence movement.
Das started in 1908 a monthly magazine called Free Hindustan to educate Indian immigrant population of British Columbia about the exploitative policies of the British Indian government. Later, he was also associated with Lala Hardayal of the Ghadar Party, and by 1914, after several unsuccessful applications, became a US citizen, thus moving out of the reach of the British government.
He travelled to Germany on the eve of the World War I and became involved in securing funds for an armed insurrection in India. He took part in an unsuccessful German-Indian mission to destroy British-controlled railway along the Suez Canal and also travelled to China and Japan to organize the Pan-Asiatic League and promote India's independence.
In 1917, Das returned to the USA to face the charge of conspiring to violate the Neutrality Act. He and other conspirators were convicted in the Hindu-German conspiracy case in San Francisco, and Das was sentenced to 22 months in prison in Leavenworth, Kansas.
After serving his prison term, Das abandoned revolutionary activities. He completed his PhD from the School of Foreign Service in Georgetown University and spent the rest of his years teaching in the US and Europe. He died in December 1958 in New York. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Moving on with the news, in Jammu and Kashmir, an assistant sub-inspector of police and a civilian were shot dead by terrorists this evening in Bijbehara area of South Kashmir's Anantnag district and Old City area of Srinagar respectively. Cases have been registered and search to nab the assailants is on.
Secretary General of Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO, Vladimir Norov, hailed India's contribution and constructive approach in SCO and praised India's several initiatives as chair of the Council of Heads of Government HOG held last year. Mr. Norov, who is completing his tenure of 3 years as SCO Secretary General this month, said India's membership has enhanced the importance of SCO as an organization. As a country of 1.3 billion people with a history of thousands of years, India has a very important role in SCO, he added. He was all praised for India's leadership, which took the responsibility of hosting the Council Heads of Government in 2020 when COVID-19 pandemic was raging. 2022 will be an important year for India at SCO as for the first time it will assume the presidency of SCO after Uzbekistan for the period 2022-23, which will culminate with the SCO summit to be hosted by the Indian side in 2023. The SCO summit is the meeting of the Council of Heads of State and along with the Council of Heads of Government makes two most important dialogue mechanisms among SCO member states. The Sensex and the Nifty today recovered more than 1%. Both stocks gained amid mixed cues from the global equity markets. The Sensex closed above 56,900 and the Nifty settled above 16,950. A report from the Business World.
The BSE Sensex climbed 612 points or 1.09% to trade at 56,931. The NSE Nifty also rose 185 points or 1.1% to trade at 16,955. In the forex market, the rupee appreciated 5 paise against the US dollar in afternoon deals. The domestic unit was trading at 75 rupees and 55 paise against the US currency. Gold prices rose marginally by 10 rupees at multi-commodity exchange for February contracts. The precious metal was trading at 48,080 rupees per 10 grams in intraday trade. Silver prices also added 220 rupees to 62,025 rupees per kilogram for March contracts when reports last came in. And oil prices were steady as fears of tight supply were offset by COVID-19 concerns. In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading around $74.10 per barrel. Rajesh Lake for AIR News.
On to sports. In Asian Champions Trophy Hockey Tournament, India won the bronze medal, beating Pakistan 4-3 in Dhaka today. India have won the prestigious tournament in 2016 and were joint winners in 2018. In football, Bangladesh has lifted SAF Under-19 Women's Championship, defeating India by a solitary goal in Dhaka this evening. India had lost 0-1 to table topper Bangladesh earlier in the tournament and finished second in the tournament with 9 points. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi is likely to have shallow fog. The temperature will rise from a minimum of 6 degrees Celsius to a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius. In Mumbai, the lower limit of temperature will be 19 degrees while the upper limit will be around 33. The city will have a mainly clear sky. Chennai may see a partly cloudy sky and the temperature will vary between 21 and 29 degrees. Kolkata will have a mainly clear sky. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 14 degrees, maximum of around 25. Srinagar will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or snow. Temperature will hover between -1 and 8 degrees Celsius. Jammu will see a mainly clear sky. However, it may become partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature will be 6 degrees. Maximum will be around 19. Leh is likely to have a generally cloudy sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will vary between -8 and 0 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have a generally cloudy sky and there is also possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Temperature will hover between -8 and 10 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Minimum temperature will be 2 degrees. Maximum will be around 17. Visakhapatnam will have fog or mist in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. Hyderabad is expected to have haze. Thiruvananthapuram and Puducherry will have a partly cloudy sky. Guwahati, Imphal, Shillong, Aizawl, Kohima will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Itanagar and Gangtok will have a mainly clear sky. Agartala will have fog or mist in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Cabinet approves minimum support prices for copra, assures doubling of farmers' incomes by 2022. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch more development projects in Varanasi tomorrow. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla says new parliament building to be ready by November next year. Delhi Disaster Management Authority issues order banning all cultural events and gatherings during Christmas and New Year celebrations in view of rising cases of Omicron. West Bengal government also issues guidelines for international travellers. Over 139 crore vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate stands at 98.4%. In Jammu and Kashmir, one assistant sub-inspector of police martyred and one civilian killed in terror attacks. In Asian Champions Trophy hockey tournament, India win bronze medal, beating Pakistan 4-3 in Dhaka today. And in football, Bangladesh lifts under-19 SAF Championship trophy, beating India by a solitary goal. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.